Few people know this. Listen to this prayer and money will appear in 2 minutes. Prayer for money. Few people realize the power of prayer in transforming their lives, especially when it comes to finances. If you're reading this now, it's not by accident. This moment is a divine invitation to step into a new season of abundance. You may be feeling skeptical, unsure whether such a prayer could really bring a shift in your financial situation. But hear me out. I believe in the power of prayer to change the course of lives. And in the next few minutes, as you say this prayer, your financial story could begin to turn around. It may seem hard to believe, but when we place our trust in God, the impossible becomes possible. Remember, God often works His greatest miracles when we feel at our lowest, at the point where everything seems lost. That's when He is most active in our lives. Now, perhaps you've been avoiding checking your bank balance, fearing the truth it may reveal. You might feel the weight of your debts crushing your spirit, or find yourself lying awake at night, wondering if God has forgotten about you. I want you to know, my friend, He has not forgotten you. He sees every tear you've shed in private, every sleepless night, every burden you've carried on your own. Psalm 34, verse 18 reminds us, "The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit." Even now, God is listening to your cry, and He has led you to this moment for a reason. This prayer is not just a distant hope or a dream. It's a tangible key that can unlock the door to everything you've been waiting for. Heaven is listening, and every word of this prayer is a step towards your financial breakthrough. Do not skip ahead. Stay with me, and let your heart align with God's will. For miracles happen when our faith meets His perfect timing. As you prepare to pray, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on notifications so that you don't miss any life-changing moments like this one. I ask you, my dear friend, to pause for a moment and reflect on the struggle you may be facing. Only those who have felt the sting of financial hardship truly understand the deep despair it can bring. The feeling of looking at an empty bank account, seeing the bills pile up, and knowing that something has to change. But I am here with you today to remind you that there is a way out. There is a light at the end of this tunnel. That way is through faith. I carry this burden with you, and I bring a message of hope, a hope that the supernatural is at work in your life right now. You may not need luxury or excess wealth, but you need relief, a breakthrough, and that's what I'm praying for with you today. You've been carrying the weight of worry long enough, and it's time for deliverance. There is no shame in crying out to God for a financial miracle. In the quiet moments of our lives, when fear wakes us before the alarm clock, or the weight of overdue bills steals our peace, we have to trust that God is already at work. We may not have all the answers, but we can trust that He is moving in ways we cannot yet see. And so, I pray with the little faith I have left. Even if it feels small, even if it feels fragile, I know that God can do immeasurably more than we ask or imagine. As it is written in Psalm 20, verse 1, "The Lord hear thee in the day of trouble. The name of the God of Jacob defend thee." Even when we feel hopeless, God is near. Even in our weakest moments, He is preparing to act on our behalf. My friend, take a deep breath and hold on to your faith. You are not alone. The miracle you need is closer than you think. Trust in God's perfect timing. Trust that He has already heard your cries, and trust that He is about to deliver you from this season of financial struggle. The impossible is where God does His best work. And when heaven opens, you'll be amazed at how quickly the change can come. The universe, through God's grace, is aligning to bring you the breakthrough you need. So hold on, my friend, and don't let go of your faith. Your moment of change may be right around the corner. There comes a time in every life when everything begins to align, when that long-awaited shift finally happens. If you are reading this now, perhaps this is that moment, the moment that sets everything in motion for you. And just like you, I stand here humbly, with no pretensions, no pride, only one truth in my heart. I need a financial breakthrough, and I believe, with all my heart, that it can happen for you. Few people know this, but there is a deep truth hidden in prayer, even in something as simple as a prayer for money. You may be asking yourself, how can change come when the path ahead is filled with uncertainty, when every door you knock on stays closed, and when answers feel so far out of reach? But here is the truth I want you to hold on to. You may not see all the roads that stretch out before you, but God sees them all. His wisdom, His understanding, and His power reach far beyond anything our human minds can imagine. He knows exactly where the solution is, even when it is hidden from us. And right now, I am speaking this with all my heart. Lord, let the money I need come to me. Let it appear in ways I never expected, in places I never looked. So undeniably clear that I know in my spirit you have moved on my behalf, because I know what it feels like to struggle, to apply for opportunities that never answered back, to submit proposals that were ignored, to face debts that seemed impossible. And I know you have felt it too. But the same God who lifted people out of pits, who parted seas, who multiplied bread when there was not enough, can touch your finances today. The same God can touch the very situation you have been trying to fix alone and show you that you were never meant to carry this burden by yourself. He can make a way where there seems to be no way, and He can open the windows of heaven to pour out blessings that you cannot even contain. Doesn't that make your heart rise with hope? Because it tells us that in the day of trouble, He hears you, He defends you, He guides you. And I want you to pause for a moment and ask yourself, do you believe that your prayer today can shift something in the spiritual realm? Do you believe that even when you cannot see it, God is already moving behind the scenes on your behalf? That is what faith is. Trusting that He is working even when your eyes cannot see the evidence yet. And I promise you, the moment you take that step of faith, you unlock the impossible. That is when everything starts to change. Now let me share a story. There was once a widow in the time of the prophet Elisha. She was deep in debt, with creditors coming to take her children away. She cried out in desperation, just like many of us cry out today when the bills pile up. Elisha asked her, "What do you have in your house?" She answered, "Only a small jar of oil." But with God's instruction, that little jar of oil multiplied until it filled vessel after vessel. She sold the oil, paid her debts, and lived free with her children. That story isn't just a history lesson. It is a reminder that God can take the smallest thing you have and multiply it beyond your imagination. Isn't that powerful? Doesn't that speak directly to your situation? Showing you that even if you feel you have nothing left, God can still use it to turn your life around. I know the weight of financial burdens can feel crushing. The fear of running out of resources, the anxiety of not knowing how to provide for your loved ones, the stress of deadlines and obligations, it can overwhelm your heart. But right now, let us ask boldly, God, touch this situation. Touch the areas where fear has taken root. Remove the heaviness and replace it with clarity, direction, and peace. Give us the courage to take the steps we need, the wisdom to see the doors you are opening, and the faith to walk through them with confidence. Because no longer will we live under the shadow of fear or lack. No longer will we let money dictate our peace of mind. Instead, we choose to live with dignity, with hope, and with the assurance that God is with us every step of the way. Remember this: faith is not measured by the ticking of a clock. It is not about how long you have been waiting. Faith is about believing that God's timing is perfect, just as quickly as He calmed storms, healed the sick, and raised the dead. He can shift your financial situation in a moment. That is why I say with confidence that within just 2 minutes of this prayer, you can begin to feel the seeds of change taking root in your heart. That is not a coincidence, it is divine timing. So let me ask you, what are you waiting for if you feel this prayer stirring in your heart? If you sense that your breakthrough is close, will you say it out loud with me? I receive my miracle today. Your faith is more powerful than you know. It is not just empty words. It is a declaration that the impossible is becoming possible. Even if your eyes don't see it yet, your heart feels it. That stirring inside you, that sense of peace, that quiet assurance, it is the evidence that God is moving. And as you step forward, I declare that every obstacle, every fear, and every negative force standing in your way is being removed. Let God's peace cover you now. Let His strength surround you. With every step forward, you are walking into the future He has already prepared for you. And I want to remind you of this truth. God will supply your needs not according to your limited resources, but according to His limitless power. That is not just an idea, it is a reality, a decree, an unshakable truth that God will provide for you in ways you cannot even imagine. So right now, I declare with unwavering faith that the money you need is already on its way. Your financial breakthrough is beginning to unfold, even if you cannot see it yet. The atmosphere around you is shifting. Doors that were once locked are opening. What once seemed impossible is now within reach. Take a deep breath and release the heavy weight of worry. Feel the peace of God washing over you. Know that He sees you, He hears you, and He is moving on your behalf. Trust Him. Walk boldly in faith. And remember this: when you act in faith, the impossible becomes possible. So believe, claim your breakthrough, and walk forward in the peace and confidence that your financial needs are being met. The solution is on its way. The prayer for money you just spoke is not just a cry, it is a declaration of victory. Your story is not ending here, it is only beginning. Walk forward in faith and never forget, what once felt impossible is now becoming possible, because God is faithful. My friend, let me speak directly to your heart right now. When you truly open yourself to the power of prayer, even a prayer for money spoken with faith, something extraordinary begins to happen in your life. Listen carefully, because what I'm about to share is not just words, it is a key, a truth that has changed countless lives, and it can change yours too if you dare to believe. I know you may be facing struggles that feel impossible to overcome. Bills piling up, debts trying to weigh you down, dreams that feel too far away. But as you pray with me today, I want you to understand this with every fiber of your being. Your breakthrough is not far off. In fact, it is already unfolding. Right here, right now. Trust in this moment. Trust in God's timing. Trust in His perfect plan for your life. Because sometimes what feels like a delay is actually preparation for something greater. As it is written in Psalm 20, verse 1, "May the Lord answer you in the day of trouble. May the name of the God of Jacob defend you." Isn't that a promise worth holding on to with both hands? Think about it. How many times have you been at the edge of giving up? only to find that just around the corner something shifted in your favor. That is how God works, unseen, yet always present, preparing blessings for you in ways you cannot yet imagine. Even now, He hears your prayer for money. He hears your cry for relief. And He is moving pieces in your life so that everything will align at the right moment. Let me remind you of something powerful. You are not your circumstances. You are not defined by the number in your bank account, and you are certainly not limited by the obstacles standing in front of you. You are someone chosen, created with purpose, born to rise, born to prosper, born to live in abundance. And do you know why I believe that? Because Philippians 4, verse 19 declares, "But my God shall supply all your need according to His riches in glory, by Christ Jesus." Not some of your needs, not a little, but all of them. Financial, emotional, spiritual. Doesn't that stir something deep within you? So here's my question to you. Do you have the courage to believe that even the small, ordinary steps you take today can lead to extraordinary breakthroughs tomorrow? Can you imagine what your life would look like if you stopped doubting and started trusting? Not in your own strength, but in the unlimited provision of God. I personally believe that abundance is not just about money. It's about freedom, peace, joy, and the ability to bless others. And yes, money is part of it, because money is simply a tool that God can use to elevate you into your purpose. But abundance is so much greater than a number in a bank account. What if the opportunities you've been waiting for are already around you, hidden in plain sight, waiting for you to open your eyes? Could it be that the right person, the right idea, the right open door is already within reach? Ask yourself, how can I prepare my heart and my mind to see these blessings? How can I invite the right people into my life, the ones who will help me grow, help me succeed, and help me step into the fullness of God's plan? This is why we pray not just for money, but for wisdom, creativity, and divine connection. Lord, let my work bear fruit. Lord, bless the talents you placed inside me, and make them shine so that others may see your goodness. Every seed you plant in faith will bloom in its season. Every act of trust, every whispered prayer, every moment of belief is preparing a harvest that will not fail. Just as a farmer does not see the seed the moment he plants it, yet trusts the soil and the rain, so too must you trust that your harvest is already on the way. And I want to leave you with this conviction deep in your soul. Every cycle of lack is breaking. Every debt, every disappointment, every delay is being rewritten into a testimony of victory. From this moment forward, everything your hands touch will prosper. Every effort you make, every door you knock on, every prayer you whisper will align with God's plan. So don't give up. Stand tall. Declare with me right now, I am moving forward. I am walking into abundance. I am stepping into the life God destined for me. And as you hold this prayer for money in your heart, know that your story is being transformed into a living testimony of God's goodness. There is no such thing as wasted time in God's plan. Even your moments of despair will one day become moments of gratitude. When you look back, you will see how God used every challenge and hardship to shape you for something greater. Right now, it might feel like your struggles are endless, but trust me, even when you can't see it, the miracle is already in motion. Your faith will carry you through. Let's take a moment to reflect on faith. Faith is not about seeing with your natural eyes. It's about believing even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. Right now, you may feel as if your prayers have gone unheard. Perhaps it seems like everything is working against you, and there is no way forward. But deep down, there is that small flicker of hope. Isn't there? That flicker is your faith at work, even when you can't fully see it. It's that quiet, persistent trust in something bigger than your circumstances. Even when your surroundings don't match your belief, faith moves mountains. You have the power to declare with your words that your breakthrough is on its way. You can say with confidence that the money you need is already on its way. The answers you've been praying for are coming, and the breakthrough is happening. This might sound like a dream to some, but I assure you it is not empty talk. Each word I speak is a prayer from the heart, a cry for your victory. I know what it's like to struggle. I understand what it feels like to wonder how you will make it through the month. I know how heavy fear can be on your chest, and how hard it is to keep a smile on your face when you don't know where the next blessing will come from. But let me remind you that God is with you in every moment, in those difficult times when everything feels unbearable. God's presence is with you, even if you can't feel it yet. And as you begin to pray, a shift will take place. You will feel lighter, more hopeful, as though a new energy has filled your heart. Your burdens won't feel as heavy, and the weight of the world won't be on your shoulders anymore. You will sense that you are not alone in your struggle, that there is someone beside you, lifting you up. That presence is God's hand at work in your life, moving things in ways you can't yet see. So I encourage you to pray with even more faith today. Let these words sink deeper than before. Feel the weight lifting off your shoulders. Even if tears fill your eyes, know that they are not tears of despair. They are tears of renewed faith. They are tears of hope and certainty that things are shifting right now. God is moving in your life, and although your circumstances may look the same for now, the peace that fills your heart is proof that things are changing. Have you ever experienced a moment when you just knew, deep down, that everything was going to be okay? It's that peace, that quiet assurance. That is God whispering to your soul, saying everything will work out in His perfect timing. That peace is the testimony that God is working on your behalf. I declare that every chain holding you in scarcity is being broken today. Every root of fear that has bound you is being uprooted now. Every negative word spoken over you is being canceled in this moment. The past is behind you. You are now free to move forward into the blessings God has prepared for you. From this moment forward, your financial breakthrough is already in motion. Can you feel it? Do you believe it? Take a moment and say, "My breakthrough is now." Stand in agreement with me as we declare this victory together. Know that even though you may not see it with your eyes yet, your faith is paving the way for something big, something life-changing, something that will bring the financial breakthrough you've been praying for. This is just the beginning. I reject every thought of defeat, every voice of fear, and every whisper of scarcity that tries to convince me that things will never change. I trust that the prayer I speak today is already shifting the forces around me, setting everything in motion to bring the blessings I need. I know that God answers in times of trouble, and I trust in that promise with all my heart. God, touch my hands and make them instruments of prosperity. Let everything I touch be transformed into a blessing. May all my efforts succeed, and may every plan I make thrive. I trust that the doors you open for me will be tangible and real, and no obstacle will stand in my way. Lord, send me the provision I need today. Turn my debts into testimonies of victory, and let every ounce of shame be replaced with honor. Whatever financial blessings have been delayed or blocked, I ask you to release them now. Whatever has been held back from me, I pray that you bring it to me with speed and grace. I declare that no force, no person, and no obstacle will stop the blessings that are rightfully mine by divine right. If this prayer resonates deeply with your soul, type in the comments, "Nothing will stop my blessing." You are not meant to merely survive. God has greater plans for you. If you believe, you will receive more than you ever imagined. As the money comes and the miracles burst forth in your life, may you have the wisdom to handle these blessings wisely. Teach me, God, not to waste a single blessing, not to let my newfound wealth distract me from my purpose. Help me never forget the struggles that brought me to this moment and the resilience that has shaped me. Every gift I receive, may it be used with purpose and gratitude, and may I, in turn, become a blessing to others, just as I am being blessed now. Let your words and actions always be filled with hope and cheer. In this spirit, you will see prosperity. Lord, open my eyes to see the opportunities you are sending my way. Help me recognize the hidden potential in every situation and grant me the courage to step out in faith. Give me the strength to say yes to things I once thought impossible. Help me embrace the new life you have prepared for me. Abundance is not a luxury. It is your promise to me, and today I claim it with a heart full of faith. Today, I release all guilt from past mistakes, and I let go of the shame that once held me back. I step into the future with purpose and confidence. This is my second chance, not granted by the world, but by you. Lord, if you too are claiming your new beginning today, type in the comments, "My new chapter starts today." Let every feeling of humiliation be replaced with honor, every ounce of fear transformed into joy, and every moment of scarcity turned into abundance. Have you ever felt tired of struggling financially, wondering when things will finally change for the better? Have you felt that no matter how much effort you put in, life just keeps pulling you back with debts, bills, and unexpected problems? If so, I want to tell you right now, you are not alone. And more importantly, this prayer you are about to receive is the beginning of your breakthrough. Today, I invite you to let go of the heavy burdens you've been carrying. Release the guilt of past mistakes. Release the shame that whispered you were not good enough. Release the fear that tried to chain your dreams. You are stepping into a new season, a new chapter of your life. And it is not given by the world, but by God Himself. Can you feel it? This is not just another day. This is a turning point. If you believe it, speak boldly to yourself. My new chapter starts today. As those words leave your lips, notice how hope begins to rise in your heart. I want to remind you of something powerful. Abundance is not a luxury reserved for a few. It is your divine promise. The Creator of life never designed you for lack or constant struggle. He designed you to prosper, to live in joy, to walk in freedom. When you trust in that promise, everything around you starts to shift. So I ask you, do you believe you are worthy of abundance? Do you believe that your financial struggles do not define you, but instead prepare you for the blessings to come? Let me tell you a story that reflects how God works. There was once a woman who had nothing left except a small jar of oil. Her creditors were about to take her children away because of her debt. Yet when she acted in faith, that little jar began to pour and did not stop until every vessel around her was filled. What once seemed like nothing became more than enough. That same God who multiplied her oil is the same God who can multiply the resources in your life today. What is your small jar right now? Is it a small talent, a small opportunity, a little idea that feels too weak to make a difference? Trust me, when God breathes on it, it becomes more than enough. Right now, I declare over your life that the season of struggle is coming to an end. The nights of worry, the mornings of stress, the endless cycle of bills without relief, it will not last forever. Something new is already unfolding. You may not see it yet, but it's happening. Opportunities are lining up. Doors are being prepared to open. The money you need is already on its way, and it will not delay. And here's the most beautiful part. It may not come from where you expect it. It could arrive through a conversation, through an idea, through a job offer, or even through someone you never thought would bless you. That is how God works. Quietly, unexpectedly, yet perfectly on time. But here is where you must ask yourself, when it arrives, will you recognize it, or will you doubt, thinking it's just coincidence? I urge you, when your blessing comes, acknowledge it as the miracle it truly is. Speak gratitude. Say to yourself and to God, "Thank you for making a way when I saw no way." Because gratitude is the key that keeps the blessings flowing. My friend, I want you to know something important. When you pray for money, you are not simply asking for material wealth. You are declaring your trust that God cares about every part of your life, including your finances. He knows the stress of unpaid bills. He knows the heaviness of carrying debt. He knows the silent tears you cry when you wonder if you can provide for your family. And because He knows, He answers. This is not about greed. This is about freedom. Financial freedom that allows you to live with peace, to give generously, and to walk in joy without the shadow of lack over your head. Even now, I feel in my heart that someone listening to this prayer is already experiencing a shift. It may feel like a gentle peace washing over you, or a quiet strength rising up inside. That is the sign that your miracle has already begun. You may have walked into this moment feeling empty, but you will walk out renewed and filled with hope. Isn't it amazing how quickly everything can change when faith takes over? So today, I want you to declare with me, money is flowing into my life right now. Debts are being erased. Doors are opening before me. Opportunities are being released into my hands. Say it with conviction. Speak it as if it is already happening, because in the spiritual realm, it already has. Do you feel how different it is when you speak life over yourself instead of repeating words of worry? Let me tell you this. No negative word spoken against you, no crisis, no limitation will be able to stop what God has already planned for you. The blessings with your name on them cannot be stolen. When heaven decides to release abundance into your life, the earth has no choice but to align. That is why you must walk boldly. This is not the time to shrink back in fear. This is the time to step forward with faith. And here is something very important. When the money and blessings arrive, promise yourself you will take care of them. Use wisdom. Nurture the opportunities you are given. Grow them with diligence and gratitude. Because blessings are not just meant to be received, they are meant to be multiplied. How will you use your blessings to bless others? How will your story of victory inspire someone else who is still struggling? Think about it, because your testimony is not just for you, it's for everyone who needs to hear that miracles still happen. Right now, I can already see it. The chains of financial stress breaking, the weight of worry lifting off your shoulders, the fresh air of freedom entering your life. You are no longer a victim of lack. You are stepping into the identity of someone chosen for prosperity. You are no longer waiting for something good to happen. You are already living as if it has. Because when you pray in faith, heaven moves immediately, even if the results take a little time to show in the physical. And here is the lesson I want you to carry with you today. Prayer for money is not just about finances. It is about aligning your heart with God's abundance. It is about believing that you were not created for scarcity, but for prosperity. It is about walking with the confidence that what you ask for in faith is already unfolding. So keep speaking life. Keep declaring abundance. Keep trusting that every prayer whispered in faith is heard and answered. So now, I leave you with this. Believe with all your heart that your struggle is not your final story. Prosperity is your portion. Abundance is your inheritance. And joy is your reality. Walk boldly, speak gratefully, and live faithfully, for your miracle is already on its way. As you stand at the threshold of a new season, remember that this moment is not just a fleeting chance, but a divine opportunity for transformation. The weight of your financial struggles does not define you. It is the foundation for your breakthrough. Trust that God, in His infinite wisdom and grace, is already working behind the scenes to turn your situation around. Every prayer, every declaration of faith, and every step of trust is a seed being planted in the fertile soil of divine provision. The story of your life is not one of scarcity, but of abundance. When you align your heart with God's promises, you unlock doors of opportunity and blessings beyond measure. Know that even when you can't see the changes yet, God is orchestrating miracles in ways that will astonish you. He has not forgotten you. He has seen every tear, heard every prayer, and is already preparing a way where there seems to be no way. So, walk forward in faith, trusting that the breakthrough you've been waiting for is already unfolding. Your miracle is on its way. And as you step boldly into this new chapter, know that you are walking into the fullness of God's abundant provision. The chains of financial stress are being broken, and a new season of prosperity, peace, and joy is yours to claim.